2, 1, go.
What's up? You're watching Precious Charlotte, and if it's your first time here, I'm Charlotte. Charlotte is actually my second name, and this is Precious. That's also his second name.
Oh my god, that's such a
chill. But he's gonna refer to me, or everyone else could refer to me as Masichava or Charlotte. That works. And this is also Puka to other people and Precious to other people.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty much it. And welcome.
Welcome to our channel.
Kawaii and everything. Nice, positive vibes and stuff. Yeah. Today we have a very heavy topic we wanna discuss. I don't know if you wanna.
One thing that we did mention in our intro video is that we suffer from a lot of we don't suffer from a lot of things, but we're experiencing life differently. And today's video we're going to be talking about some of those struggles and just go into a bit of background with each one of us. And because we know that we're not like, there's a lot of people out there that are experiencing life the very same way that we are, we do hope that this reaches out to
everyone that's listening.
Everyone that's listening.
And everyone that needs to hear, if it's a thing that they need to hear.
This conversation that we're having is the first time of a possibly extended series of conversations. Today we're talking about mental health and how we've experienced it, and
and what it means to us. I mean, we'll go through it in separate accounts as like individuals, like our experiences, both of us, and our experience with it as in a relationship dynamic, and what we think it is outside of us, and like from us to the world and from the world to us type of thing. Basically, mental health is, I don't want to have a dark tone to like a dark theme to this conversation. I want it to be as light as possible. So I feel like things like smiling, well, we're not gonna make jokes, but at the same time we're not gonna take it seriously for the sake of not making it a bad thing as it's looked at, I don't know, seen, deemed type of thing. My account with mental health issues, mainly depression. Well, I want to say it started a long time ago, but I started being aware of it in 2015. It was basically creeped through with like a whole existential crisis type thing, where like I started asking like what my purpose is, like what's the point of it all, those type of things. Questioning the things that I do, feeling tired, feeling drained, not feeling significant, not feeling like nothing, like feeling like I don't matter. Not in a sense that no one cared, but in a sense that like I could just die today and like things can just go on. I don't know, that type of thing. And I don't know where that came from, but looking back and unfolding it as I go through spaces and time, I've had a better understanding of things and mental health, and my mental health specifically. So yeah, that's my account type thing.
I feel like I'm gonna provide a bit of like a background which might be long, and so I wouldn't say that for the longest time I struggled with my thoughts as much as I did last year. So it became apparent to me last year that there's things going on with me. So what basically happened was that somebody very close to me, who was very close to me, committed suicide. And I would say that started things off for me, because I remember for about 3 weeks after that, I was still like experiencing grief. I was still not able to function normally. I would say it changed life. It changed a lot of things for me, because post finding out, I think we went into short VAG, and I don't remember how that VAG happened. I just remember that the days just went by so quickly, and I was in bed the whole time. I've had friends having to come and check up on me and ask me if I've eaten and get me food and things like that. And I thought, oh wow, maybe I'm just really sad right now and it's gonna end. And so, but because of the person that I am, and because of how I felt like I needed to get back into order. I mean, it's a big deal, but I mean, things happen, right? So I wanted to spring back up and just live life again. But hey man, that was not the reality. It was hard. I was constantly in tears. Like I was walking around a ticking bombshell, only about to erupt into like a pool of tears. And that's when I sort of realized that something is actually wrong, and it's bigger than I thought. Whatever has happened has affected me in ways that for me, it was the first time I experienced death of somebody really close. So I didn't really know how to react. I didn't know how to deal with it. And obviously coming from, which is something very fundamental to how, it's something that meant a lot to me as a black child, coming from a black family. You always witness how people just tend to move on after the death of somebody. So I understood that to be how things were supposed to go, and so that's what I attempted. And so when things didn't really settle back into order, I was like, something is actually wrong here. And it started affecting my academics, it started affecting the relationships I had with people, it started affecting me in many ways. It affected the relationship that I had with my parents, because I didn't feel, until such time that I thought that everything was just becoming too much, I revealed all to them, but I didn't feel like I wanted to tell them that I was still struggling, I was still battling with the suicide. And so I had to tell them that, oh no, I'm okay. And after a few months, I think this was right before my June exams, I decided to seek help. And after about a few sessions or so with different psychologists and all of that, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and that has been my life ever since. And I think there was also a lot of revelations going through that process, and now even more that I'm more aware that I need to be mindful of the processes that take place in my head, and all of that revealed to me so many other things that as a child I had not paid attention to, but didn't realize that I'm living that life still. I'm keeping up with things that affected me as a child, things that were affecting me in school and all of that, things that I had to shut down and just live with, keep up with this current life. I opened up that box of those things, and that can of worms, and it's been tough. It still is tough.
Yeah, but I think we have triggers. We have triggers, and usually I think maybe for most of us we don't knowingly, we know it, like it's not a thing that mental health is a thing until it actually becomes a thing. But like I think I want to say condition that we live with, that like how we have physical health, we have mental health, and you can live, you can eat bad food or you can eat good food, but like it affects your health. Same way with like mental health, that your brain or your mental is exposed to all these things,
and then
you know,
suddenly
yeah, it'll catch up with you. Like when you start getting sick because you were eating some type of things. Same way with the things that you process with your mental, that eventually they catch up with you type thing. After like when you take like a huge knock, I would think for me, my huge knock was in 2015. That took me to the line where I was like, I need to focus on my mental health. Same way when you have a heart attack and then you're like, I need to focus on my physical, physical health. You know, I think it's that type of thing that we go through. We don't think it's a problem until it becomes a problem, which is dangerous also, because we go about ways to try to take shortcuts to feel better. And this is so true because you can compare, literally, you can compare physical health with mental health. Like, we look for shortcuts and ways to look good instead of being healthy.
Feel good. So we tend to address things on a very external, superficial level. It usually works, but it's very temporary. It somewhat has knock-on effects on what's on the internal.
Yeah.
So the analogies are the same with health in general, that it's there until certain things affect it, until certain things misalign it, or
you know, that huge knock.
Yes.
That knock that's gonna.
And that's when you're prompted to act on it and do something about it. And
you know, my huge knock was Venezuela in 2015. The whole, like there was a lot going on. There was protests. Like it's when I started asking myself questions about the person I am from every dynamic, like every angle that makes a whole human being, like being black, or like my position in life at that moment started making me question a lot of things. When you start seeing flaws, or when you start seeing like when things don't align in every part of everything, and the more you try to find out what's going on and the more you met with more mysteries and questions than answers, it becomes a thing that's draining. And at the same time, while you're trying to process all these things, there's other things that happen. There's school, there's tests.
That's like the toughest thing I've realized, that it's like there's no space for you to tend to your mental health, because school, you need to be submitting assignments, you need to be keeping up. Like there's no opportunity for it looks like there's no opportunity for you to actually take a break, recover.
I don't even like recover, like, but like focus on the things. You can't take time off because like reality won't wait for you. Like school or
nothing is waiting for you. No one is waiting for you, because you have to show up with people. You have to be out here in all aspects of life.
School, trying to get a job, because like it's like, well, for me it was a thing that I wanted to take a break. I was tired, like mentally, physically. Even the food I was eating wasn't like helping. But like it's a thing that you're like, I can't take a break because at the position where I'm at, I need to be getting a degree to get a job, to do other things. So like it's like all these expectations come through and you feel like you're not being the person that you were expected to be at the same time, and you just keep drowning in reality and all these things that are taking you mentally, and you end up in a space where you feel like you can't catch up anymore. And it becomes messy, and that's when we resort to cheat codes and
toxic memes.
Like we're not saying more every time when you do something, when you indulge in something that's external, like that's bad, not bad. Like drinking, you know, there's drinking for fun. There's drinking to just turn up and be lit, you know. But like sometimes it gets to a point where you're just drinking. Well, that was my case. I was just drinking and doing all these self-destructive things. And for me, it felt okay to be doing these things out there, to be drinking and eating unhealthy, and doing all the things that were self-destructive, because I felt like they were affecting me, and so like no one was getting affected. So it becomes that thing that you indulge in these things. So yeah, that was our account on the thing. So
yeah, it's been part 1 of.
yeah, that was part 1. I feel like that should be part 1, because we don't want to go long, because these conversations never end.
They never end, and there's still a lot more that we haven't uncovered, I think. So we hope
that was something.
that was something. Leave a comment, tell us what you think, tell us how you may have experienced it, tell us
your account,
share anything in the space. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, share the video, and
love and everything positive. And it's only a dark space, but like sometimes we need to realize that the dark space is not necessarily a bad place to be. Like, it's a call for attention. It's exactly like a heart attack, that you need to start working on eating healthier for your heart. Being in a dark place doesn't necessarily mean like you're doomed. It just means that you need to focus on some things to get your life straight.
Yeah.
So,
and that's been our takeaway. Thank you guys so much for watching, and love and light.
next time. Was that cheating?